Hi, this is Sandy Brosam, and I'm talking about grief. It is from my personal experience that I'm talking to you today. I started my grieving journey about 30 plus years ago. We won't say exactly, but I was 21 years old. I was married. I had a beautiful 2-year-old boy that I absolutely adored, and I was 5 months pregnant with my daughter. We had a house in the country, and life was good. I was happy. The kids were happy. It was a good life. Until August 9th of 1980, when I hit a guardrail with my car. That guardrail pierced my car, went through my car, speared my son, and I watched him die before my eyes. It was ugly. I can't even explain how ugly that was. My daughter survived, though. I had a miracle baby. You would have thought that would have made it easier, but it didn't, because I didn't get a chance to grieve for my son. First, I was pregnant. If I'd start crying, I would throw up. After I had the baby, then you add all those hormones in with uncontrollable grief, and I was a mess. It took over 4 years for me to climb out of that deep, dark grief hole. My marriage fell apart, and I didn't want to love anyone or anything. I just hurt too bad. I finally started moving forward, allowed myself to fall in love with another man, and we had 2 more children. So now I had 3 children, and I thought, okay, life goes on. We're moving forward. And although I still missed my son, I was doing okay. Well, fate said, you're not doing okay now. Brandon had cancer. He was my 4th child. We found it at 14 months, and it took months of looking to figure out what was wrong with him. I only knew that my baby was sick, and we couldn't figure out what was wrong. My second husband, who had never had child loss, didn't understand why I was getting so upset. He patted me on the butt one day and said, "Don't worry, baby. God won't take another one of your children. He wouldn't do that to you." And I had a knee-jerk reaction of, "You want to bet." Because deep in my heart, I was feeling like, there's nothing we can do. We don't know what's wrong with him. He's getting sicker and sicker, and he's going to die. I was right. I never gave up on Brandon, but Brandon spent 55 straight days in pediatric ICU. They don't keep you there if you don't need to be there. Every day, at some point, he was critical. We never knew if he was going to live through that day. So the amount of stress that was on me was unbelievable. And when we thought we had it licked, we thought we had the cancer licked, we didn't. Brendan died. It took 3 months from the time he was diagnosed until we put him in the ground next to his brother. So I know a little bit about grief. And when I first started my grief journey, there really wasn't anybody to help me. I lived out in the country. I didn't even know anyone else with child loss. I could go see a minister, church groups, but I didn't talk to anybody who knew what it felt like, who could understand what I was going through. I had friends and family that loved me and wanted to help me, but they had no clue. When Brandon died, now I was dealing with grief for the second time. I knew what was coming, and I knew how ugly it was going to be, but this time, I had a 3-year-old and an 8-year-old that had to go on that journey with me. My heart was broken for my children who were dead, and my heart was broken for my children who were living, because they now had to live a life with grief.